Hey everyone, it's Colin from Legalized Mischief Productions. Thank you for joining me and welcome. Today we'll be doing something a little different from the usual 40K fare. We're going to be painting Stormtroopers from Star Wars Legion. Been having my eye on this game for a while. I took the plunge with a couple friends, so naturally I wanted to make some tutorials. I'll be getting the Clone Wars box, so I'll be doing clones and stuff like that, but I wanted to start off with really the most straightforward unit, one of the most straightforward units probably to paint, and that is the Humble Stormtrooper. So today what I'm going to be going over is how to paint their white armor, and today we're just going to be doing the airbrush base coat. After we do the airbrushing on the armor, then we'll go in and we'll pick out the black elements, we'll highlight those, we'll come back, highlight the armor, do a wash, and call it a day. So first up is going to be the base coat for the armor, and for that we're going to use Vallejo Game Color Sombre Gray. This is a really nice soft blue-gray. I just love this color. We want it to be pretty thin. We don't need this to be super thick. I primed the model. First I primed the model black, and then I went over it with white primer because the black primer adheres a lot better, and the white primer can get a nice even coat over the black. You can use gray as well instead of black. It also serves to kind of do some pre-shading in the joints and stuff like that. You can see like under the knee, under the arms, it's darker. It's going to mimic the shading that we're going to use for the model in general, but we don't have to just get a completely white primer layer. We can leave a little bit of the black, especially you can see like in the eyes and everything. That's good. We want that. So don't go too heavy with the black, but it's going to get covered anyway with this dark gray. We don't want to leave that black. We're going to go back and use a brush to block out all the black areas after we do the base coat. So first things first, we're going to use that somber gray and turning the model pretty much upside down and spraying underneath it. We're just going to give a real nice base coat with that somber gray. Make sure we get kind of the undersides of the helmet, because the other colors we're going to be spraying. Make sure you get the chest, the inside of the arms, and we're not going to be coating the entire model with this color, but we do want, covering most of it. We'll say most. Make sure the inside of the legs get a good coat. So a little bit left on like the toes and the top of the head and stuff, but you know, we're not intentionally leaving those areas light. We're going to go right back over it with this Vallejo Game Color Wolf Gray. This is a very, very light bluish gray, staying with the same tone as the base coat. This is just a wonderful color. It has great coverage. We're going to be using the white really as a final highlight. The model overall is going to be this wolf gray is probably going to be most of the model, surface area of the model. You can see again, very, very thin. We don't need to go crazy with having to coat everything in one go, but we want to get a good highlight with the wolf gray because the white's again just going to be the final highlight really, and then the edge highlight. So for humanoid models, I have a bit of a rule. It's head, shoulders, top of the arms, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, top of the arms for highlights. So we want to keep the middle of the model darker, and that will serve to elongate the form. And so with this model, we're going to end up with that somber gray, just really like the inside of the legs, maybe the shins, kind of the underside of the torso here, the underside of the arms, and that's really going to be it. Really everything else is going to be wolf gray, and then we'll go back to the white. So let me see, head, shoulders, top of the arm. Turn that PSI down just a little bit. Top of the leg, top of the foot, the leg, top of the arms, helmet, and we want to get the top of his back there, but we want to try and avoid filling in kind of this midsection between the top plate on his torso armor and this kind of midriff section here. We don't want to fill that in completely with the wolf gray. We want to leave that darker to get, again, to elongate the form and just to get some differentiation. Nope. Okay. And because we're working so thin, we'll just go back and hit those areas again. Top of the helmet, outside of the leg, the kind of top of his torso armor, a little bit on the butt plate. So you can see overall, this model is getting much, much, much lighter with the wolf gray. But if you look on kind of the inside of the leg, maybe that's a little too much, we can extend it there a little bit. There we go. Inside of the leg, the shins, under the arms, and kind of under here on the chest and the armpits, we're keeping that in shadow. So very, very important to keep those shadows. This model is not going to be overall very, very white. Overall, it's going to be, we want it to go from that blue-gray up to white and have that mid-tone to get a really nice, rich white. Now, airbrushing white is super, super tricky. The best paint that I've found is Vallejo Model Color White, just thinned with water. We do want it to be very thin. I've tried probably 10 or 12 different white paints through the airbrush and varying degrees of success. Vallejo Model Color White, thinned just with water, is by far the most consistent. So that's what I stick with. I still try other ones every now and again, but white is what I stick with. So real quick, we're just going to do this final highlight, and then we'll be ready for detailing. One thing I love about these models is they are very straightforward. So again, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. White. Maybe get a little bit on the inside of that foot. And this white is very, very thin. So get the feet, but we're leaving this calf area shaded. We did get the thigh, we did get the top of the arm, get the back of the torso plate, a little bit on the butt plate, get the back of the legs there, but the underside of the thigh is kept in shadow, right? So overall, this model is going to rate, visually, it's going to rate as white, but it's going to be more interesting going from that kind of dark bluish gray to white rather than just kind of washing a white. So get the arm, make sure that the helmet is pure white, but then you can see going to the back of the helmet it is shaded. And that's looking pretty good. For a few minutes work, that is not bad at all. Excited to come back and get into the detailing with the black and get some very differentiation between those armor panels. Do some highlighting. and an oil wash, and these guys should be good to go. So there is a good way to get a very good looking final result with not a lot of time spent on these guys. So how can you not love painting these guys? We have some really good shadows, really good lights. So I'm looking forward to the next phase. So thanks so much. Phase 2 will be out, or second part of this tutorial will be out, very soon. And look forward to painting these guys with you and plenty of Star Wars minis in the future. So again, check out the Patreon, full access, only $6 a month for all tutorials and giveaways. And hope to see you there, and hope to be painting with you soon. So thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.